Okay, this is a introduction. I know, for me, I've said introduction for a couple of times. And I'm really trying to find the confidence to go about putting my videos on YouTube. And I've been saying it time and time again. I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to do YouTube. What I find to be a challenge for me is because I'm a very, what is it called? Private person. Other than the fact that, I might talk to a stranger or so because I don't feel threatened by them. They don't know me. But for me to show my face on video and to kind of put my life out there, it's a little challenging. It's a little intimidating, I must say. Um, I don't even know what to say or how to say it. I mean, I do know what to say, or I know what I want to say, but, I'm kind of struggling with the words. I want to be able to share about who I am and not feel scared. And that's what I feel. I feel really scared. Because if I tell the truth about the things that I've been through and share them like this, through this our medium, I don't know. And I really must put my faith in God that this video and videos that I plan on making in the future will be received with good intentions for those that are watching. I'm a very self-conscious person. I have learned that I am very soft-spoken and quiet. I feel like through my life, I've been run over a lot. And I don't know. Yes, I do know. This is my life and what has happened to me and how I ended up here. Through the grace of God, I am living today. If not for God's grace, I would not have been pulled out of a very bad situation that I was in 10 years ago. I have to say that I'm trying to be comfortable about what things I want to share. My story is that I've been abused. And, just as far as my personal thing, before even making this video right now, I kind of search on YouTube because I like YouTube, I really enjoy watching YouTube. I enjoy the creativity that goes behind people making videos and so forth and so on. And I found myself last night looking for, stories of domestic violence, like current, recent, truthful statements about domestic violence. I mean, domestic violence is very broad, and what I found were stories that were maybe very outdated, and they were stories that were of people that, I don't know, it's just domestic violence is so broad, and the people that I saw were they didn't have more information to back up their story, or not that it wasn't truthful, it was just more like, wow, that was a really horrific experience. And, you know, and for someone sharing their story of such a magnitude, it's just like, wow, not very many people have even noticed. And it makes me think, like, why? Um, you know, why isn't your story, you know, important? Especially if you have certain things to show what you've gone through or been through. Um, I don't know. Um, for myself, I find that saying domestic violence and talking about domestic violence is a very tricky subject. The reason being is that when you talk about domestic violence and say you're single, there's a different outcome as opposed to if you are saying domestic violence and you have children. You know, and then there's countless of people that say, oh, why does she stay? Why does she, you know, why does she not leave? You know, why does she continue to go through what she's going through? I mean, I don't understand, you know. I don't understand why she's, you know, continually going through that situation. Well, for a woman, depending on the circumstance, it's not easy to leave. And it's not easy to, you know, say, hey, you know, this is what I'm going through. You know, there's women out there that get beat and they don't say anything, or, you know, worse, they could end up dead. I don't know. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. And it's like, do people care enough to help those that, you know, are in need of that help? Well, here I am about to tell my story of domestic violence. Yeah. It's very broad because from the age of 17, like if I go back to 17 years old, I was thrown out of the house, and I pretty much had to fend for myself. And wow, yeah, I had to fend for myself. What's really hard for me is to share what it is that is in my mind to share. It's truthfully very hard for me to say I have made some wrong choices with men, and I don't know why. I don't know why I made those choices. I just know I made those choices. You know, and I don't want to cry because every time I've said it out loud, you know, it brings tears to my eyes if I have to really think about it. But, you know, I had problems in my, with my family, and, you know, when I was 17 years old, I was on my own. And the man that I was with, he became abusive. I mean, I pretty much told him everything about me, and he decided to use those things that I told him about, as far as, you know, my mother and my father's history and things like that and what happened. And so he used that against me. Well, I ended up having a child by this man. I had two. One, he forced me to have an abortion, and the other one, he and his mother took. And I was not really understanding the cycle that I was about to go into. But I ended up meeting another person, and then the same thing happened. And then, as I speed up through my life, I end up meeting a man who became my husband, who was abusive, and I became pregnant. And I had to have an abortion because of just, my past and losing two children, well, actually four. And so I don't want to kind of go too far right now about like my current situation because I do have a little boy that I do have. But if I admit to myself about he's telling me he wants me to take some stuff that he's got. If I admit to myself about these things and what happened to me and my experience, it is hard. It's hard for me to tell strangers, yeah, these things happen to me. These people really who I trusted and I pretty much gave all of myself to decided to do this to me. And for me to go on a social website and start up a channel in regards to my life, it is a challenge for me because of just what my experience has been, and I'm tired of being afraid, and I'm really tired of the contradiction, and I'm tired of just not being able to be myself, and I feel like I'm not able to really be myself. I feel like my life is not how it could have been if I hadn't ended up in certain situations. And I don't fault my mother. I love my mother. And she did the best she could with the cards that she was dealt, and you know, and my grandmother also. But I love my grandmother. My grandmother did everything for me. Okay, so I find myself in this place now. I find myself in the place where I feel like I need to do YouTube in order to kind of like go to the next level with my life, to move on, to move past and forward. I feel like I'm kind of stuck, and I'm trying to find a way in which to move past being stuck and to, grow as an individual, as a person, a human being. And before I go in depth to more of my story, I feel like, for this video, it's enough as far as that to kind of go into what I am about to do right now. And, I hope I have the confidence to put this video up. I have been struggling with the idea of putting up videos on YouTube. I really have been putting up this barrier because I'm so afraid. I'm afraid to share my story, and I just am so afraid. But okay, so what I'm going to do is now share what my future plans. Okay, the organization that which I am a part of, and I am going to do a raffle for some jewelry that I have made. And like these earrings that I'm wearing, I made these. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop this video because see, I don't know whether or not I'm gonna go ahead and use this video, or if I'm just gonna start another video and say that this is gonna be the video, because I'm just totally scared. I shouldn't be, probably, I guess, but I am. I have fear, and I'm sure as I become a little bit more comfortable with sharing my story on YouTube, you will see why I'm so afraid. I mean, I just have seen people turn, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, like, oh, okay, I gotta tiptoe with you because I don't know what you're doing, and I'm really tired of living like that. You know, I have a son to think about, and I want him to know, you know, who he is and where he comes from, so he doesn't make the same mistakes that his mother did, and he knows where he's going. And you got to know where you came from so you can know where you're going. So, until next video,